Hey, before you buy a home in Houston, Texas this year, there are some things that you should know that even the most savvy home buyers will miss. I'm Jennifer Allen, and I'm the head of the Jennifer Allen real estate team here in Houston, Texas. And every day I help buyers and sellers just like you find a great house that they love just for their family. Reach out to me and my team in the contact below so we can help you find a great home for you and so you don't make the mistakes that you're going to see in this video. Okay, now let's get into it. So when you're shopping with me and my team, while you're looking at how beautiful the house is or how great you think the furniture all looks together and how you can imagine yourself and your family in that home, I'm looking at the other things, the things you might not have your eyes on, some things that could be really hidden. So here in Houston, we have soil issues. Well, we can have soil issues. We have drought seasons and we have rainy seasons and all the stuff in between. Sometimes in the summer, it gets so hot here and we don't have rain at all. And so our soil can move. And it will move and shift because the trees in our front yards and in our backyards are looking for water. Now, a good homeowner and a good seller will water their yard. They will water the flower beds. They will make sure that everything in their flower beds, their trees, all of that are getting enough water so they don't have to go reaching underneath a slab to get it. Because if they do, it can cause the driveway, the sidewalks, and even in the interior slab of the house to move and crack. And that can be a costly repair to you down the road. So, what am I looking for? How do I even know if there's an issue going on with the foundation on a house? Well, I'm not an inspector. Oh no, we have some great ones that we work with here in Houston, and I'm not it. But I have been into thousands of homes and seen so many home inspection reports, and I have a really good behind the scenes look at foundation repair as well. So what I'm looking for are cracks in the brick, expansion joints that are really far apart, and cracking around the windows, just lines in the brick that actually tell me there's probably been some movement. Now, sometimes that can be really big cracks, and I can see it stacked down in the mortar, or you might see lifted exterior places where the siding is moving away and shifting and separating from each other in corners. That also tells me that there could be some movement. Not always are those things indicative of that there needs to be repairs or piers put in or anything like that, but it could be something down the road. So I'm looking out for you, and I'm looking out for your budget and your dollars. All right. When it comes to exterior maintenance, we're not just looking at the foundation, not just looking for cracks, but siding. Now, sometimes houses in Houston, Texas are going to be brick all the way around, but very often there is going to be siding as well as brick. Now, the siding can be wood or it can be hardy plank like this house, but you want to make sure that the sellers have done a very good job maintaining it. Because if they haven't, if there's gaps around the trim where the edge of the trim meets the window framing, you could get leaks in there. So you really want to make sure you're looking out for that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm watching to make sure that the sellers have really done a good job of maintaining the exterior of the hardy siding or wood siding so that you're not worrying about moisture issues down the road. Okay, so along with siding and trim, I'm also looking at the condition of the roof. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not a licensed inspector, I'm a realtor, but I've been in so many homes and seen so many reports over the years that I do know a good eye of what they're looking for. Now, this house, this roof, I do know it's my seller's and it's a brand new roof. It's only been on, I think, 2 years or less. And not only have they taken really good care of replacing the roof, keeping everything in good maintenance, notice that the eaves and soffits are all in excellent condition. There's no holes so critters can get up in there and nest. You're not going to have to worry about, well, what's going on up there, how bad it is. This house is in such excellent condition. And not only that, but the paint looks great. There's no mildew or mold growing on this house anywhere, not on the brick and not on the siding. These are important things that you may not notice, but I sure do. All right, so another thing that a home buyer may not notice or pay as much attention to as I do is the HVAC system and the air conditioning units. It gets hot in Houston, so we run our air conditioners basically all year long. So I'm looking at the exterior units, and I'm also going to ask the agent on the other end if she can get with her sellers and find out how old those ACs are. Now, I have been known to go climb behind the shrubs and try to get myself back behind an AC unit to see if I can see the date on the exterior piece, but they may not match what's going on interior wise, or maybe coils have been replaced or things have been updated. So even though the exterior unit itself may be a little older, it doesn't mean it's in bad repair. It could be in really good repair. Just some extra footwork on my part as your agent to look for those things to protect you. Okay, fencing. In Houston, everybody just about fences the backyard. It's very rare that you won't find a backyard with a fence, maybe on acreage property or something like that. But typically in neighborhoods, there's going to be a fence around the whole backyard of a property here in Houston. And so I'm looking at that because I know replacing a fence can get expensive, and that's usually not a repair buyers want to have to make. Now, again, this is my listing. These are my sellers, and they've done an excellent job of maintaining this home, and they've replaced worn fencing. You'll see that there's a new section of fencing over here, while over on this side, it's an older section of fencing, but it's in very good shape. It doesn't need to be replaced. So I'm looking out for those things as somebody who's protecting you and your investment on the property that you're about to buy. Okay, one more thing before we head inside. The roof, I did say this one is new, but I also want to show you flashing. I often see flashing and it's often lifted or warped, or it's just not tacked down like it should be. And those things come up on inspection reports all the time, where the flashing needs to be smooth and even to the siding and to the brick so that there is no chance of water getting in there. Okay, so along with looking at the brick when it comes to foundations, when we come inside, I'm also looking for three things. I'm looking to see if there are any cracks in door frames or room openings that would shoot up in the corners. I'm looking to see if doors get stuck and they don't open and close easily, and I can see it, like there's a bunch of places on the frame where the door has hit it over and over and over again. And I'm looking to see if the flooring is buckled and uneven or shifting in places. Those are all signs that there could be a foundation issue that hasn't been addressed. Okay. All right, so now that we're on the inside of a home, we've talked about cracks in the door frames and in the edges of framing and those kinds of things that could be signs of foundation. But other things that I look for when I come into a home are things like the condition of the ceilings. I know that seems weird, but I do look at that to see if there's been a patch, possibly the paint's different colored, or if there's stains in the ceiling. Those are telltale signs that there's been a leak somewhere. It could have been an air conditioner leak, could have been a plumbing leak, or it could have been a roof leak. But those are things that I'm looking for that you might not notice right off, especially if they're really small and just not easy to see. So I'm usually looking out for stains and leaks. Okay, so this is something buyers do usually notice, and that's the color of the walls in a house. But what I'm looking at is the quality of the paint job. So I know exactly how much it's probably going to cost to paint an average size house using a general contractor to do it or a painter to do it here locally in Houston. So what I'm looking at is, well, how does this paint look on this house? Is it old? Does it look dingy? Is it worn? Are the walls really scraped up, the edges? That means that seller has probably not maintained that house very well and they've lived on it hard. I'm also looking at the baseboards to see if they're really scuffed or dented or stained or just dirty. That tells me things about the maintenance of the house. And speaking of dirt, the other place that I'm often looking at are the air conditioner returns, the vents in the ceilings, and the registers. If those are covered in dust, they haven't changed the filters often, I know their air conditioners may not have been maintained well, and that can affect their performance and lifetime overall. Okay, so speaking of painting, another thing that I like to look at is the cabinets in the kitchen, especially. Have the sellers updated the cabinets with paint? And if they did they do it properly or did they just slap some paint on there? This house, as you can tell, this was professionally done. These cabinets look amazing. That is a cost saving to you as a buyer, and it really makes the house show really, really well. All right, so I am a little known for my nose. I'll just say it. Everybody in my family knows it, that I can smell bad smells right away. So when I walk into a home with my clients and we're looking at things and I notice a faint musty smell or a smoke smell or even a pet smell, I'm going to let them know, hey, we may have some further work to investigate here, especially if I feel like there could be a moisture problem. Okay, thanks for sticking around for the whole video. One last thing about the outside. If there's a power pole in the backyard, a light pole, something like that, sometimes they're masked by a tree. But I usually coach my clients to avoid anything with a power pole in the backyard because that can be really hard for you for resale later on and you can never move it. Hey, thanks for sticking around for this whole video. I hope you learned something important here and things you need to watch out for before you buy a house here in Houston, Texas. And if you like what you heard, click that like button, subscribe, and every week we come out with new videos about what it's like to buy a house here in Houston, to sell one, and just general living in Houston, Texas. I'm Jennifer Allen. I am the lead of the Jennifer Allen team here in Houston, and message us if you would like more information about buying or selling here in Houston.